I'm just going to start by saying All Stars 3. This is the finale, and I couldn't even muster up the need to pull out an eyeliner. That's where I'll start. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag in all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 3. This is the finale. And as I said, I couldn't even muster up the strength, purpose, reason, need, want, any of that to pull out an eyeliner, let alone a foundation, a concealer, and I definitely wouldn't want to waste any good lipstick on getting painted to do the finale. Of course I would paint for the finale. I always do. But not this time. Let's talk about the show. Let's talk about the show, and you'll understand as you watch. If you didn't see it, you'll understand. First things first, we start off BB still being a bitch, still being ridiculously extra and self-centered and delusional. She actually took her ass and sat her big head ass over there and asked, so who were you going to eliminate? Bitch, wasn't it just last week that you refused to say who you weren't going to eliminate? And you have the nerve to turn around with your big head ass and then ask somebody else who they're going to eliminate? BB, shut up. Shut up. See, I told them to put your ass on the plane, but nobody was listening. Just ridiculous. Just shut up. Just shut all the way up, bitch. Anyway, moving on. That was just ridiculous. Ru comes in, tells them what the maxi challenge is going to be. They're going to compose and perform a solo to her song Kitty Girl. Also, they're going to create their own choreography for their part along with the help of Todrick Hall. So I'm like, again, I have to give it to them. The challenges on this have been challenges that I would have loved to have actually done, and I've enjoyed what the challenges were. Then the other thing was that it was all going to be in a one take. We're not going to do no whole lot of cutouts and let me redo that. It's literally going to be a one take. And that was it. I was like, oh yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. Now that's a challenge. So I was like, okay, cool. Then he also threw out there, the eliminated girls are coming back again. And we're like, what the hell? What function are they going to be in? Mess. So first thing we start with the choreography, the main choreography with Todrick Hall. BB, just horrible. Just proving the fact that she just doesn't need to be there. I mean, what Todrick was showing wasn't really hard. And then there was this little leg lift thing. Bitch, stop it. I'm a fat bitch. Okay? Now, I can understand me feeling like, okay, well, wait a minute. I don't know about you whipping me back and me doing this leg lift. You know what I mean? And I'm old. I'm an old fat bitch. BB, you're an old, not so fat bitch. So what is the problem? But I mean, it is what it is. Or if you're dancing, you're dancing. What is the problem? So she's having all this problem with trust issues. And I don't like heights. And Todrick was like, bitch, you're not going to be any higher than what you actually stand. So shut up and get it done. She was horrible. Horrible. So let's talk about it. they start the production. They didn't waste any time. The show's moving. And let me say this. I didn't actually get to watch this until this morning because I wasn't aired in at the time that the show actually aired last night. And my DVR, for some reason, did not record the show. And then earlier today, I actually talked to Alexander Rogers, who said that for some reason, his didn't either. Now, I'm all the way in Pennsylvania. He's in New York City. And we had the same thing. We don't even have the same cable company. So I don't know what was going on. But I just figured that Fios figured that this was all some bullshit anyway. And that's why they had my shit fucked up. And they was pretty right. And then my folks was sending me messages, and I already knew who won already before I got the chance to see it. So like I said, Fios knew it was bullshit, and they just said, we ain't not wasting no DVR time on this shit. And that's what I figured happened, but that's not it, because Spectrum did the same thing to Alex. Unless Spectrum knew it was some bullshit too. But anyway, I'm getting off. Let me get down off my soapbox. Boom, 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 bam, and I'm back. Let's go. So we go right into the production. Production's fabulous. Everything's all going on backstage, and it's a lot of moving parts, and even the judges are a part of it. Fabulous. Fabulous. I love it. I loved how it turned out. Again, I don't know if there are new people and new writers and new creators on staff, but whoever this group that pulled all this together, keep this group intact because it is very good for watching. It's very entertaining for watching. This has been the most entertained that I've been. It's just the right amount of glitz and glam and camp where it all works, and it's not all like an old beat, because it's very much, I love RuPaul, but RuPaul is a pretty old fucking B-rated movie. That's what he is. You know what I mean? There's enough other elements in here now that it doesn't get mundane and it doesn't get so corny to the point where it's like, well, turn this off. It's, this is good. I like where this is at. So anyway, they start off. Okay, so let's talk about BB. BB, bitch, you were horrible. From the rooter to the tutor. Your lyrics were late and horrible. Your outfit was a misfit. You had a bodysuit on and it didn't fit good, and it actually was showing your undergarments underneath. Like, girl, this is TV, ma'am. This is TV. This is All Stars. Very, very amateur. You know better than that, BB. Then they threw an inside read on you, bitch, because your part backstage that they had you sitting up with them sewing machines. Bitch, you can't sew. Bitch, if you didn't catch it, let me be the first to tell you. They read you, bitch. That was an inside read, girl. That was a key, bitch. You with them sewing machines. I said, oh, they gave you line, bitch. And you don't be sitting around thinking that Rue don't watch some tapes, honey. Ain't know you lied about that shit. And they should have had Aja stamped all over the sewing machines. I digress. Let's move on. That dancing that you did was a fool. It was a fool. Your whole piece was just unneeded, and it said that you shouldn't have been there. You did not need to be top 4. You didn't. You didn't need to be top 4. There's definitely somebody else that would have did better in that spot. Aja would have did better in that spot. Bad enough. Chi-Chi couldn't hang until that point, but Chi-Chi would have did better in that spot with all of the lyrics and the dancing and all that. Chi-Chi would have been better in that spot. It was awful. It was just awful. Trixie, for me, bitch, you were stiff and uninteresting. Very much of what Trixie is. Her outfit did knock me out. Her hair was kind of just blah. She wasted her time with her lyric bigging up Shangela. I was like, why is she talking about Shangela? You took your 45 seconds and talked about another bitch? Take me now. Psh. honey, that was stupid. I said, whatever. Well, it worked out for me because I was like, yeah, Shanji, whatever. Kennedy turned it. You understand me? Kennedy completely turned it. Kennedy tapped into everything that she learned from the theater, and that bitch was on it. She danced, she sang, she was on it. Her outfit was flawless. You know that bitch gave you them glittery tights and had a lovely bodysuit on. She had nice regular hair. It wasn't, her hair was, it was cool. I could have really gone for like big Kennedy hair, but she didn't do that. She did more of a small hair, and the hair didn't overpower. So it didn't give so much drag queen. It gave you very much female performer, which you know I'm always good with. I'm fine with not looking like an over-the-top drag queen, but that seems to be the lane of Drag Race, is the over-the-top drag queen thing, just like the other types of drag queens don't exist. But it was cool. But she was giving you fish, and it was weird child, black velvet, and I liked it. It was all classy. It was all good. And Kennedy did her goddamn thing, and it tapped into everything. You see exactly what a good performer that Kennedy is. Her vocals were good, because we all know she can sing and everything. Her vocals were good. It was just good. I mean, you couldn't deny it. It was good. Makeup, everything, good. Shangela, please. Please. I know Jennifer Lewis is somewhere grinning, baby. Shangela, and I told y'all I was Team Shanji. I was over here so satisfied. I don't give a fuck, Shangela, what goes on or what happens from here. Bitch, you did that. That bitch had a fierce bodysuit on, and we already know what Shanji does. That bitch got out there and got to rapping and slayed the children. She totally, because remember, Shanji does Beyonce. When she's out there in the real world, she will turn a Beyonce number on y'all's ass. She went out there and turned to Beyonce. That bitch gave you every bit of all the single ladies, all the single ladies. That bitch got out there and did that one shot just like Beyonce did when she did Single Ladies. No cuts, no breaks, no edits, just straight through. Shangela was flawless all the way through. And she was doing a whole lot of moving around, a whole lot of camera work, a whole lot of having to be, you know, on spot with the camera and facing. All of that. You had to take that all in. That motherfucker Shangela was turning it. She had a lot of moving parts. There was boxes and shit moving when she was doing her thing and people in the way. That bitch didn't miss not one turn, not one camera angle, nothing. Shangela turned it. She was on her Beyonce, and I was here for it. So I was very, very happy with Shanji. I was happy with her and Kennedy. Her and Kennedy could have done the whole video by themselves. Kitty Girl starring Shangela and Kennedy. They left Rue out. Kennedy and Shangela. Shangela and Kennedy. Is you live whore? I lived for it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Anyway, so moving on. So then we go to the very last runway, is Best Drag Runway. Now, I have to give it to them. Every last one of them pulled out their shit. They were good. Every last one of them was good. BB was the least interesting of all of them. She basically had on a lion print, some type of animal print onesie with the hood on it kind of thing going on, dress. It was okay. It was cute. The very Lion King-esque. But again, it didn't give us anything that we've never seen from her, which was cool because it's your best drag, so it should actually be you and your character. But I've seen her further over the top. As a last piece, I was just kind of like, you spent all your time in your headpiece. And then it wasn't a real big headpiece. It was just okay. It was just okay. Kennedy went all the way there. She went all the way Kennedy Davenport. And I've actually seen this dress before where she's actually done prides. And every pride that she's ever worn it to, the bitch has turned it. Because I think I want to say she did maybe an EOY creative evening wear pageant with this gown. But it's all the pride colors. And it's like petals. And it's very three-dimensional, flawless. Flawless, flawless, flawless. I seen her in it a long time ago because I loved it so much. I actually snapped a picture of her. I have a picture of her in the gown. It's like one of my favorite looks of hers for her. And it's very Kennedy. I can't even see anybody else wearing that gown. When I seen it on her, it just said to me, Kennedy Davenport. And I do. If you went through my phone, you would actually find the picture from a long time ago where I have her in that gown. It's flawless. It really is. She turned it. Shangela, bitch. Because who is Shangela, really? Other than being, and you know, she's a costume girl. She's always in some type of a costume, or she's in a bodysuit or something like that. And Shangela served y'all a look. That bitch came out looking like a little black Betty Davis. That bitch gave you Betty Davis, the dress and all. It was a strapless, very much Hollywood starlet, fitted bustier to the waist, complete full flare skirt with the motherfucking pockets. Beautiful, beautiful, stiff fabric. The gown said Edith Head, period. It was so very Edith Head, so very nostalgic, so shit. It was Betty Davis, everything. Her hair, she had the side part with the waves, the soft waves, and she did it in blonde as opposed to doing it in red. But she looked like a little black Betty Davis baby doll. Flawless. It's literally, I think, one of the most flawless looks that I've actually seen Shangela pull off that wasn't comedic. It wasn't costumish. It was just a beauty look, and she killed it. Killed it. Little black Betty Davis Barbie. Fabulous. It was really, really nice. And them pockets slayed me. And I ain't really a big fan of pockets on gowns, but for whatever reason, that just worked. That's the Shangela bitch. Shangela gave me everything that I wanted. Everything I wanted. I was so satisfied. I was so happy to be Team Shangela. And so happy that these weeks I've been saying, I'm Team Shangela. I'm Team Shangela. And she didn't let me down. I was proud of Shangy, and that's where I was when she came out of her gown. I said, whatever happens from here, bitch, I'm satisfied. Trixie's dress, it worked. It was something very much a style that I would wear, you know, very much the mermaid, whole mermaid thing. And then it was like a nude illusion situation going. Very Milan Trésor. It was something that I definitely would have took and worn. I would have worn it. Which was strange for Trixie. It was off for Trixie. But the bitch looked good. She really looked good. Now her hair was full on Trixie. I ain't really with the curly afro on the white girl thing. Pushed into a, I don't know what that, it was giving me that clown. Because see, that's what Trixie Mattel represents to me. A clown. And every time I see her, that's what I get. When I see her walk up, I hear it in my head. And that's what it was given. The gown was real serious and real high glam. And from the neck up, it was giving me Barnum and Bailey, honey. So, but that's fine, because that does represent Trixie Mattel. And she even had Fox stole all that. None of that was Trixie. From the neck down, she was somebody else. From the neck up, she was honey. So I was like, all right, girl, well, whatever, if you best. It's cool. So then we figure out, okay, so what we're doing is the eliminated queens are going to choose the two tops, and the other two are going to be eliminated. So they went into an interview session. Let's talk about these interviews. BB sat her big head ass down there, and she lied. They went back and they asked her, that's the word she used, her troublemaker self. And by the way, all the girls looked really nice. All the eliminated girls, they were all nice. They all looked nice. Miss Aja was clean. Clean, clean, clean. Miss Chi-Chi, huh, bitch, what did you wait for that for? Chi-Chi was cleaner than a motherfucker because she's looking like she should have been on the opposite side of where she was. Clean, 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 Miss Chi-Chi. I said, girl, get makeup and hair and got... Go on, Miss Chi-Chi. Girl, you restored my faith in you, bitch. You pulled that, bitch. You look good, 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 Miss Chi-Chi. Yes, you did. I said, okay, all right. All my girls were. Miss Chi-Chi was good. Miss Aja, And I'm just proud of Aja too. Just like with Shangela, very proud of Aja and everything that she did through this. I've become a complete Aja fan through watching this, because I was not a fan of Aja's when she did her season, but I am a complete Aja fan at this point. I'm still Team Shanji, and Chi Chi, girl, you still on my roster, bitch. I got mad with you though. You made me mad throughout this, bitch, but you got me back, bitch, because that last look was a mother. I liked it. She looked good. Go Chi Chi. So, BB, you lying whore. She sat up there and lied and talked about, because they went back, Thorgy asked her about the elimination. Girl, go ahead and tell us who you were going to eliminate. Well, you know, all the other girls agreed that I just shouldn't. Ain't nobody agreed to that, whore. You just sitting here lying. I was like, oh, God. I just needed to put in a voiceover right then and said, is you lying, whore? Lying. And then they showed a clip back of her saying, this is what I decided, this is what I'm doing. You fucking lying, bitch. Goodbye, BB. Bye. Bye. Rue, don't you bring her back here no more. Damn it. Sick of her stinking ass. Anyway, Kennedy gets down. Kennedy was the talk, you know, with her little interview. She just was the real deal. She was very honest about how she felt about things. And it just kind of was what it was. Shangela was just true to Shanji, period. She gave a good interview, said what she had to say, got the fuck up, and got on up out of there. Trixie, this is where my problem with the show started. Because what is this? What are we doing here with Trixie? It's another piece of why I don't like you. Because y'all already know, I don't like bitchy queens. I really don't. I don't like bitchy, nasty, backstabbing, gutter snipe ass fucking queens. I don't. I just don't. And that's Trixie. You're a funny looking, shady bitch. I can't get into it. She came for BB and she came for Kennedy in her interview. You're doing your interview and you're coming for people. Why are you doing this? This is not necessary. It's never in life is it ever necessary to tear someone else down to bring you up. Bitch, if you're on your shit, you ain't got to worry about nobody else. The game of tearing people down to bring other people up is a really ugly game. I have family members that do it, and they irritate the hell out of me. If they weren't my family members, I'd probably run them over with my car. You know, it's just not a good look, and that's just what she was doing. Talk about Kennedy's. Well, Kennedy's year, her year, she actually wore the same style of dress, but it was much better. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was a whole different feel. Yes, it was pride, it was beaded, but it was a whole complete different feel. It was an evening gown, but nowhere near as creative as the one she had on tonight. But does it matter? It doesn't matter because it wasn't about you, because you're not judging anything, you rockhead bitch. Anyway, I don't like her. Anyway, moving on. So they pick, and the top two is Kennedy and Trixie. The song they choose is Wrecking Ball. Rue, what jokes you telling? The final song for All Stars 3, Lip Sync for Your Legacy, is Miley Cyrus' Wrecking Ball. And speaking of, let's go back. I would have liked to seen a Wrecking Ball show up this episode. And you know what I would like to see it on? That dress that Rue had on at the end of it. I would have liked to see a Wrecking Ball tear that dress up, because that was a fucking horror. I don't know what that was. It was like a balled up version of that good shit that Morgan had on last week. That dress was horrible, Rue. Horrible. I was like, girl, again, another version of McCall's pattern 3342 with some type of shredded ball. That was a mess. That was a mess. And it may be time to go to a different designer or a different set of design. That shit was horrible. And that was the perfect placement for the Wrecking Ball. The Wrecking Ball placement was not for our last lip sync, but whatever. So now if we go by everything that was done, I'm going to have to say between these two people that was chosen that they picked the right winner. If we were going off of the last lip sync, Trixie won. Or Trixie was crowned. Trixie ain't won shit. Trixie was crowned. But if they're just judging off of that last lip sync, I can't argue with that. Yes, Trixie did beat Kennedy. Kennedy, you fucked up because it wasn't time to dance. It wasn't time to dance. Kennedy, you know how to perform a slower song and a mid-tempo song because you do that too. This was the time not to dance. This was the time to stand there flat-footed and lip sync your ass off. That's what it was time to do. And you could beat Trixie at that. And that's what you needed to do. The song Wrecking Ball is an emotional song. And all of this flip-twipping and all this shit you were doing, it took completely away from what the song is. So I have to say, baby, if it comes out, if it was just about that, she did beat you. She did beat you. But the fucked up part is that the bitch should have never even been there. That bitch should have never even been there. But if it comes to the last lip sync, you got to be fair. Trixie did beat her because Trixie just sat there and performed the song, which is what the song called for. The song does not call for a 6 count no, it don't call for that. Didn't call for that, and it looked ridiculous. We couldn't even see Kennedy's mouth half the time. And she had a real cute dress on, and it would have been fine if you did dance in that dress, and then you were barefoot. If you'd have just had on a heel, you'd have just looked like, you know, a bitch with a couple dollars. And it would have been cool. And you could have sat there and sang the song and been done with it. Because that's what this whore was going to do. That bitch wasn't going to pop no twirl. So that's where it ended up. And I have to say, when I got done with this, I felt some type of way. Because it's been about 2 hours or so since I finished watching this. I had to take some time and sit down. Because I had planned, like I said, to paint and go ahead and turn myself into Milan, and I just couldn't even do it. I just could not find the reason to waste my makeup on this bullshit. And it did leave me with a very bland, worn-out taste in my mouth for RuPaul's Drag Race today at this point. I'm really glad that Season 10 starts next week. Because if it started tonight, I probably wouldn't be watching. And on that, we're going to wrap this up, kids. How do I feel about this season as a whole? And the ending of the season? The season was really good. It was very entertaining. My last thoughts on this. This reminds me of another pageant that I watched, and the ending left me empty. It was the pageant where number 45 was crowned. Psst.